Welcome students to the another lecture of web designing. In this lecture of web designing, we will talk about the website, domain hosting and what is the domain. So all of you are already aware you might have visited a number of websites. So you know that website is a combination of set of web pages which are linked together in a certain fashion according to the requirement or according to the organizational need. And the linking among these web pages is through the hyperlinks. So a web page can contain the hyperlink, and using that hyperlink it is possible to move to another web page. Usually these websites are prepared for some purpose. These are prepared and maintained over a period of time by a person, group or any organization. So you might have visited the websites of colleges, you might have visited the websites of universities, you might have visited the websites of Government of India. So you can find a large number of websites on the internet. Each and every website is designed for a certain purpose. Now, a website is typically hosted on a single web server for its access through network. So if you access yahoo.com, obviously this is a website, and this would be all the web pages of this website would be residing on some particular web server at some place. Okay, each website is provided with a unique uniform resource locator, which is called URL in short form, and it is accessed through HTTP protocol, which is responsible for communication between the client and the server machine. So you know that internet is using HTTP protocol for communication between the systems through the use of packets. And each website is having a unique URL. So broadly we can divide the websites into two types: static website and dynamic website. So this category of website into two types, static and dynamic, it is from design point of view. So we will see the differences between the static website and dynamic website. In static websites, web pages are usually written in languages such as HTML, JavaScript and CSS. JavaScript we will talk about later in this syllabus. HTML is basically providing HTML is the major language that is actually used for designing of web pages, and CSS provides a better look and feel to these HTML pages. JavaScript is a language that provide uh, a user interaction in this HTML web page. So JavaScript, CSS and HTML we will go through in this syllabus in detail. These static web pages are pre-built, and the content of the web page is same for all the visitors. So for static web pages, when a server receives a request for a web page from a client machine, the server will send the response to the client without doing any additional processing, and that's why they are called the static website. And static websites are fast than compared to the dynamic website, because the server does not do any kind of processing when it gets a request from the web page from the client machine. And these web pages can be easily interpreted by a web browser. So there are different web browsers. You can use different web browsers to open the web pages. In a static web page, the content will remain same until someone changes the HTML document. And we know that there is no processing of the content HTML document on the server in static websites. So these web pages of a static website, they reside onto a particular server, and when the server gets a request for a particular web page, it does not have any, it does not do any processing, and it simply sends the response by sending that HTML file. But in case of a static website, there is no interaction on the server with the databases. So a static website, that's why they are less costly, as there is no processing required on the server side. We should note that static does not mean that it will not respond to the user actions. These websites are called static because these cannot be manipulated on the server, or there is no interaction on the server with the databases. In case of a dynamic website, some processing is done by the server and there is an interaction with the databases. So this is the case which is happening in case of a static web page. We use a web browser, we type a URL of a website or a web page. The browser sends a HTTP request to the server. The server, after getting the request, it will locate the page and it will send a HTTP request response, and the web browser is interpreting that HTTP document, and then after it is getting displayed on the browser window. In case of a dynamic websites, web pages, when requested by the client, they are returned by the server, but the server first do the processing, then it is sending that to the users in the HTTP response. It means they are not pre-built web pages, but they are built according to the user's demand with the help of server-side scripting languages such as PHP, Node.js, ASP.NET, and many other which are supported by the server. That's why the dynamic websites are slower than compared to the static websites, and updates and interaction with the databases is possible in case of the dynamic websites. So why do we use the dynamic websites? So dynamic websites are used over static websites so that updates can be done very easily as compared to the static website. So if you have a static website and there are a number of web pages, so if you want to change these web pages, you need to go to the HTML code and then you make manually some changes. Only then these changes will be reflected in your web pages. But in case of the dynamic website, it is possible that we can do a common change once and it will be reflected in all the web pages of a dynamic website. In dynamic web pages, the content of web page is different for different visitors depending upon their requirement, depending upon which option they are selecting. That's why the dynamic websites, they take more time to download than static websites. So dynamic websites are preferably used when the information is changed frequently. For example, if you design a website for stock prices, or weather information, etc. Where we see frequently the information gets updated over a period of time. Now we see what is happening in case of a dynamic website. Web browser is sending a HTTP request to the web server. The web server will call particular application program in response to this HTTP request, and then that application program executes and it produces some HTML output, and that HTML output, it is basically sent as a HTTP response to the web browser. So server is doing some kind of processing with the help of some application programs which are written in different languages. So this is the table which shows the differences between the static web page and a dynamic web page. The static web page will remain same until someone changes it manually. But in case of the dynamic web pages, the content of page may be different for different visitors. Same content is delivered every time the page is loaded. The content may change every time the page is loaded. Static web pages are simpler than compared to the dynamic web pages. In static web pages, small information change very rarely, but we design a dynamic web page when the information changes very frequently. Static web page takes less time for loading than compared to the dynamic web page because of the server-side processing. In static web page, database is not used. In dynamic web pages, database is used. On the server side, static web page development cost is low than compared to the dynamic web page. There is no feature of content management in static web page, but there is a feature of content management system which has a information of different versions of the different web pages which are developed over a period of time. Static web pages are written using the languages such as HTML, JavaScript, CSS, etc. And dynamic web pages, they are written in languages such as CGI, AJAX, ASP, ASP.NET, which are used for server-side processing. Now, what is the domain name? So every time you are visiting a website, you know that you need to type few words. So it is actually called the domain name. Domain name is the address of your website which we type in a browser's URL bar to visit our website. So if you are typing www.yahoo.com, so it is actually the address of the website, and each website is actually having a unique address. In other words, if your website was a house, then your domain name will be the address. Okay, and we choose a domain name which we can easily remember. Okay, so that's why the domain name are selected which actually reflect the purpose of that website, or they actually easy to memorize. So domain name is a string of recognizable words that when we type in the browser, it redirects the user to a particular server IP address. We see that when a website is created, it often comes with a unique address, which is actually known as the domain name server, which often looks like this. So we know that uh, some website is there whose domain name is yahoo.co.in, or I have some another website whose domain name is xyz.org. We know that internet is a giant network of computers which are connected together through cables and other medium, and to identify each and every computer they are assigned a series of numbers which are called IP address. IP address is a combination of numbers separated by dots, and it looks like this: 66.249.66.1. And we know that the computers, when access any website, that DNS actually translate the domain name into the particular unique IP address. And the computers do not have any problem to remember these IP address numbers. But for the human being, if we need to remember even few IP addresses referring to few websites, it is not possible to us. So that's why, for the simplicity, so that we can remember, humans refer the domain name by a string of easy to remember words such as yahoo.com, google.com. But ultimately, these websites, they are actually going to be stored with a server with a particular unique IP address, and that IP address is actually calculated through the use of DNS server. So in order to solve this problem, domain names were invented because we cannot easily remember the IP addresses of different websites. Now, if you want to visit a website on the internet, you need not to remember a sequence of numbers like IP address. Instead, you type just an easy name, the domain name, which is the name of the website, such as xyz.com. So when you want to start a website, you need to have a domain name. To own your domain name, you need to first register your domain with a domain registrar, and there are some guidelines how to create your domain name. The domain name should be short and easy to remember, and we should avoid the names which are already trademarked. Get a .com or .net whenever it is possible. Don't be afraid to make up a word or use a compound word. Actually, we should choose a domain name of our website that actually reflects the purpose or the objective of the website. And we need to write it and read it repeatedly before we register this domain name for our website. Obviously, it should be a brief name, it should not be lengthy, it should be able to reflect the objective of the website, and it should be easy to remember. Thank you. We will keep the discussion up to this point now. In the next lecture, we will continue our discussion after this topic.